It's faded, baby.
Perfect.
Yeah, very important.
So, like, we had Sugar Lump that Lil Rick did, which is that's a Lucian phrasing, right?
Yeah.
We had Hyper Songs who do Fessa, right? That was also another phrasing from St. Lucia, right? So, in there we're fusing the two, and I thought that both of them were I thought it was two very good songs, right? Because it was fresh, it was saying different, etc., etc. And I cool with that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is too is the topics, right? If you check Trinidad, the music, like the topics that they do is be different to Barbados for the most part.
Yeah.
When people who really came close, and I guess naturally, I don't know who wrote the song. I think it was a Barbadian who wrote it. That Shakil song, Collateral.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That was good. That was fresh.
Yeah,
that was saying thing. You know,
well,
and it had a good story to it.
I could agree with you there with the right thing because I guess here in Barbados, like 80% of the soca songs is with the same topic. In Trinidad now, I could agree there because you got like voice. Voice when we're not singing but walking up and dancing and drinking. He sing Year of Love, and then he come with well, he's come with a lot.
Yeah, Cheers to Life, which was the first
like
one.
a dance all vibe on soca. That's how I would describe it. Then we got Nyla Blackman with Iron Love. The way how she present that. So yeah, I can see what you're saying and I could agree there, but in terms of the music,
I want to say too, if you remember Jabe, right? They had a song by Chandler, the song that was here that was written, I think it was written by Trinidadians, right? Flames.
Yeah.
And I think it won, or if it didn't win, it probably got it was revered a lot. So that alone show you like
they won.
You know, the vibe. Even I love Peter Ram's song, Crop Over Good Morning.
Yeah, that's
still
nice.
To this day for me, I can go and listen to that and it's still, you know, it's nice.
But then we gotta look at, when we doing music, we gotta look at the market. We gotta look at what Barbadians with the Barbadian market would take up versus what the Trinidadian market would take up. And this part can be interesting because some people might not agree. But I find that, for instance, I wrote a song for Barry Chandler and Jah Reddis, right? Everybody had Jah Reddis on the fire for, oh, you sing too slack. You know, every interview, what you do this kind of slackness and this and that. So he tries something different. It ain't song bad. It actually get good reviews from people that up there in the industry. But in terms of the public receiving it, it was like, well, we don't want to hear that from Jah Reddis and you singing slack, you know? So we still gotta look at the market too and what the market is want. And why that's why I say again that artists is be highly driven by what's going on in society and where society reflecting, because imagine you tell yourself, well, okay, I on the fire for singing this type of music, let me try something different. It's a good song, so it's not to say it get bad reviews. But yeah, it's still, you know.
Could that be the fact that, because you know people usually are not very open to change, especially for the first part. So could it be that, right, he needed to continue going along that line, and then, you know, people will probably accept it, because if he came out at first being known for the slackness, right, and then he morphed into this instantly, people might not really, you know.
But that's the thing, it wasn't instant, it was a gradual process, you know, the interviews that were being done, there was marketing around it to make sure that people are aware that, okay, something different coming, we bring in something different, you know.
This all in a year span?
A 2 year span.
Okay.
Yeah, because the song was being worked on for 2 years.
Right. I think probably because even we could look at Faith is to me, I think, a good example. She was singing particular songs and she has made a transition into these other songs, and I don't know how the public is receiving them, because I don't really think, but I could say that I like some of these songs. Some of them for me, you know, it's be interesting again when I hear certain people say certain things or
yeah.
whatever, because the way how I live is I ain't gonna sit down on I'm not gonna record nothing that I don't live.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak about something that I don't know about or something that I don't, associate with or whatever the case would be. So I guess, for me, I probably gotta take that out of my mind when it comes to artists, right?
Yeah,
because that's how
I think that's what's happening with our society. That people, because here in Barbados, we so much live on the image of a person. But don't let me limit it to Barbados because it's happening in other places. But we focus so much on the image of a person. Well, he don't do this, I don't know if you can remember Keeping Up with the Jones.
The sitcom here?
Yeah. The guy that played the girl's father, right? Just to show that we need to start having some level of education in terms of theater to create a separation between the actors or the entertainers. The guy that played the girl's father that did all the bad stuff, he walked through town. A lot of people were shouting at him, cursing telling he nasty and all kind of thing. And he was just on this sitcom,
Right.
He wasn't even on a Hollywood show. And in my head I was saying, well, these are the CMB agents that was watched Days of Our Lives.
Right.
And when years ago when they were younger, and Marlena and John Black vacation in Barbados, everybody was fussy. Oh, look, the actors from thing. But then a local actor do a show that was on it way to creating history for Barbados, because I think it's something that should still be going on. No?
Right.
And that's how we society react to the man walking in public. Then recently when Outer Banks was filming, everybody was aware, like, all right, yeah, that's a show, I think sometimes, right, we hit too hard on our own, and then everybody else is just be able to come and do, and I think that part of it is not cool. It's not cool, because it's like saying, like, okay, everybody else will come and do what I feel like doing, and we can accept it, we can play it. We don't want this type of music on the radio, but then you can still hear that music coming from other countries. But we put too much on our own locals. I think we limit our locals too much.
Right. Well, I used to do some rapping before, and I stopped because I know how perception is, and I find that people here do not understand certain things from the standpoint that, you might be living a particular life, but you might not. How to put this? You don't want to actually be. You came out in that life, and you just singing or you rapping about what you've experienced and how you used to live and different stuff. And I find that rather than people understanding that was the past, or that was a moment in time, and you try to better yourself or become whatever, they tend not to be very forgiving, right? So for me, it's alright. I don't mind saying certain things, because that's a whole different set of problems to deal with. So for me, it's alright, cool. And I understand how people look at other artists, but as you mentioned all the time, people gotta be able to differentiate the two, right? So I want to ask, in the two genres, for the genres that you've been dealing with, which would you say you've been more successful in?
Honestly, I work on quite a variety of genres, from dancehall to rap to pop, soca. I can't say there's one I was like the most successful in, but I would say that dancehall and soca has brought me the most recognition. It brought me the most successes, the most wins so far. And I would like to achieve more in the other genres, but those are the two genres that really, did a lot more for me as a producer.
So, like, what would be some of the for the audience who probably don't know, or who probably just tune in for the first time or whatever, and getting to know you, what would be some of the tracks or some of the rhythms or particular artists that they might not even known that you would have worked with?
Well, I did work with Jah Reddis, Talk It Talk. He got another song, Bounce It. Me and Nine Life, we work on that. He has work. We got some more stuff coming. With Brutal, there was Bad Man and Lip on the Task Force Rhythm. We had Crab Soldier, Crime Son. You know, the list long. The list long. I worked with, for Soca, I worked with Azura CEO. She used to be Amanda Ogis.
Right.
I did some work with Ronnie Clark, the announcer from Rock Over. Actually, this is something I could be proud of. I could say that I'm the youngest producer to work with the announcer.
Okay.
Right, so for me that's an achievement there. And you know, a lot more artists to name. I got someone to come up to, some dancehall artists, Cash Dan, QRB. Well, he changed his name to Q Sono, and Dragon Ice. So you could look out for those artists. They are coming.
So how have you handled this thing? This is a question I believe everybody's probably have that experience. So how have you handled negativity or bad mind, in this industry?
For me, honestly, when I was a little younger, or I should say early in the industry, for me, I used to take it on. But as I get older and I mature, I just realized that it's something that's happened, and the only thing I could do is use it to, get stronger, use it to, make some wins. Because sometimes somebody might come with a negative vibe or a bad mind vibe, and you can put that into your music. You could put it into a song, put it into a rhythm, and just if somebody's a hater, let a hater see you winning.
Right.
If somebody bad minding me, let them see me winning. And for myself, I can say that consistently every year. Even if I ain't the body at the top of the production chain, I always end up being somebody with a trending song or a trending rhythm every single year successfully.
You think the negativity and also the bad mindness of the industry has also stunted growth for Barbadian artists, from the standpoint that I've heard people say that some older veterans or some older veterans, whether it be producing or whatever the case would be, that they don't like to bring along some of the youth or even show them certain things, or people who just generally looking to learn.
Yeah, I believe it has stumped the industry because we are not here forever.
Right.
And if a younger person come to me and say they want to learn production, why should they hold them back? You know? If I want to preserve the quality or improve the quality, why would they hold them back? I mean, sometimes we think about the wrong things. But if we look at, let's look at the American music industry versus Barbadian music industry.
But sorry, I want to ask.
Yeah.
Does Barbados really have a music industry? Because people say that.
Yeah.
But to me, the circle that we have.
But that was another point I was going to make. No. Because when they say the Barbados music industry, we don't really have much of an industry.
Right.
Because to begin with, we starting. If we racing and there's a start line. While the American industry is almost at the finishing line, we're starting from behind the starting line.
Right.
And with what little we have our industry, we need more unity. We need to take examples from the bigger industries. We keep trying to be a certain way, but we gotta look at some of the older veterans. How many older veterans collaborated with younger artists on the rise? But when we look at the American industry, we got Eminem. Eminem did a beef with MGK, a younger artist, and well, listeners will be like, oh, them at war. Really and truthfully, what Eminem did for him was give him a boost in his career.
Right.
No matter how people interpret it, for Eminem to come, if I had to drop a song and Eminem diss me, I would be happy because I know my ratings gone up.
Right.
If we look at people like 50 Cent, that when he had bring on Pop Smoke and all the other artists, when we look at Gucci Mane, You know, he hit successful, and then he, you know, bring on artists and he sub label. When we look at the way how they do things, they keep the culture alive. You always have a older artist and upcoming artists working together. But here we don't have that. We always have a case, well, is this body time, is that body time, but we never have, well, yeah, he's Griner, so I can sing with this 15-year-old and do a collaboration. You know, I think if we had a little bit more of that in the industry, that would do some wonders and make some changes, because that would modernize the older artists, and that will also pass down the culture to the younger artists, you know.
I think it will also create more business opportunities, because
exactly,
as you said, if you got Griner now with whoever, right, and they have a hit song, right, then for sure the person coming up, they can get some money from those shows. Also, Griner and still get some money from those shows, and there's different things that could come out of that
to play,
as well as I mean, I guess here doesn't really have a label, but that's another thing to be thought of. If we do have a label or some semblance of a label, then, you know, let's say sign on, I don't know, 5 people or whatever the case would be, and they're doing shows, you still getting royalties from that, different stuff like that. So I guess the business head is needed to be explained to, I don't even know if to say the older heads, because I think, like, you know, there are these organizations and this cost cap. Again, you know, if I'm wrong, just you know, let me know in the comments. But I believe cost cap probably would have certain information to give out, and also would be educating some of the younger artists and older artists about business opportunities, and probably how to form certain things that will work in the benefit for both parties. So if that's not the case, well, definitely, you know, we need to be more educated here about what we should do, and, you know, what works and what doesn't work. And that even falls into another problem or question. Well, yeah, problem more so is the fact that Barbados is not on the list of countries that can actually monetize YouTube, alright, and these different platforms. And that's a big problem, because of course with COVID hitting, you know, a lot of artists can't do anything. A lot of artists can't travel, they can't do so many different things. So online, even before COVID, was the way to go.
But I think monetizing is gonna be a tricky situation. I can't speak too much on it, so I don't know like all the laws behind it and stuff in terms of the countries that they will have licensing for that stuff, because, you know, Spotify only recently opened up in Barbados and certain parts of the Caribbean. But just from experience, like following anime in Japan, they have like whenever they're gonna do an anime and they want to do a US release, apparently they just have to acquire certain licenses to be able to, and then, you know, there's the censorship and all that stuff in order to be able to. So I don't know if that's the case with the monetization, where certain things have to be put in place and they're not like that simple to put in place, because you've got a lot of things to do a treaty, like Netflix. Netflix USA, there's got certain pictures, and then Netflix from this country, there's no got certain pictures because of the certain laws and all that stuff. So I don't know if all of that is affecting our ability to monetize here in the Caribbean, but I do hope that something gets put in place, something gets worked on, you know, as time goes on.
Interesting, because I think Jamaica's on the list. I can't remember. I know for sure Jamaica on the list, right?
But Jamaica has a lot of strong ties now to the US music industry, because something that a lot of people don't know is a lot of the labels that are in Jamaica are actually sub-labels of American labels. So they would already been in a position to know and attain certain things, basically.
And there's no hate at nobody, you know. It's just be interesting again from the standpoint that we have people who are supposed to know entertainment ways, but still it doesn't seem they know. Because I mean, Bob Marley died, I don't know how many other years ago. Of course, you can see that, all right, it's possible for, you know, there to be Caribbean superstars. Then Rihanna came along. You know, she did her thing. Yeah, she may not have been here while doing it, but the point I'm making is you can see that there's money to be made as an artist, right? And you can come from the Caribbean and you can do different things. Whoopi, who else is there? Who's my guy from Tempted to Touch? Kevin Little. There's probably a number of other artists as well. I even remember hearing about Mike Mine, that he left Barbados and he was doing good in UK. Yeah, so the possibility for artists to actually do things is there, and you know, we should probably for sure push to get, even if they wanted to, something, there's something that should be done, because that is another way how government could probably be taxing people. And you know, I mean, yeah, and that's reality. Yeah. At least then we could release certain taxes, you know, and actually deal more with, alright, yeah, we tax people on you know, entertainment ways, right? Of course, they have to give something, you know, to help push the culture or whatever the case would be, but the point I'm making is it is there, right? So
yeah, it makes sense, because if well, just for example, not even many years up to now, when a lot of people say, well, I don't want to be a singer, I don't want to be a musician, you always hear get a real job.
Right.
You always hear, so we really want to be. It was just seen as a hobby. But I think if both the government and other persons could see the opportunities in not just music alone, but the whole entertainment industry, and if they could see potential, as you said, you know, there's a lot of benefits that could come economically, you know. So yeah.
So it's always been interesting from the standpoint that I think artists, and by extension I believe producers as well, have a belief that everything that they put out or everything they've done is gold, right? So what has been your experience, or have people probably said to you, you didn't like that rhythm, that rhythm was, you know, whatever, a song that you probably might have produced or even done or whatever. How has that happened to you, and how have you dealt with it, and how did you feel?
Well, it has happened to me, but honestly it's not an issue, because for me, I'm never happy with anything I do. Okay. So for someone to tell me, well, I don't like that rhythm, it's like, okay, well, you just confirm how you feel about it. And it's not to say that I don't think I do a good job or anything like that, but I'm always trying to reach another height in my music. So I kind of never satisfied.
Okay.
I'm always trying to find like a higher height in my music, a higher vibe, a higher form of production. So sometimes after I make some master tracks, I be like, I wonder if I could do this better, and then I be looking for the next track I do to be even better. So it's be like a never-ending road for me.
This, I think it's this year, I saw on, I think it's What's Going On, they have this countdown thing that I really like, and I think they said you had 2 songs, I think it's 2 songs on it, and it was charting, and I was like, yo, I didn't know that, you know, my man is right. So how has that transition, or which came first? Was it that you were a writer and then became a producer, or was it that you were a producer and then became a writer? Because I know you I know you for producing.
Producing, yeah.
So to see now you writing, it was good.
Yeah.
For me, because I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna try and sound different, or you know, trying to add to the craft.
Well, first thing first, I gotta shout out Select Charts, and I gotta shout out What's Going On, because you know, what they're doing for artists right now is really great, really amazing. But for me, I started off writing and, you know, trying to chant, because at that point I ain't really a big fan of my voice.
Right.
So I started off writing, trying to chant. You know, that's how we get the name Don Writa. I used to write a lot of songs back in the day. But then after a while, I didn't feel comfortable with my voice, so I moved towards production, and that's actually how the production journey started.
I was just going to ask you how you got your name, because I thought I was thinking, what was like Don Writa?
Don
Was he
Writa.
trying to be Don writing? You know, whatever the case to be. I was actually gonna ask about that. Okay, I know that's like that.
Well, how I got a name officially, it's kind of a funny thing, but well, funny to me. But you know, my father on a cartel and dance. I was on the race for Jamaica, well, on the race again. They had this song where my father said, when he was dissing cartel, he was like, "Some boy don't know about bad man thing, they were just songwriter." So the name just stick in my head. And I remember when they first called myself Writa, some people was telling me that sounds so corny, that's so sporty, and I was doubting it. But I was part of a music group at my old secondary school, Christ Church Foundation, and I got a friend. He's got a bit quiet kid now, but he's Tristan Corbin.
Okay.
And he's the person that told me, listen, right? You know how they got Dons in the Mafia? The music group is 246 Mafia. He said, big man, look at how much songs you be writing for the constant. You gotta be the Don. You was Don Writa.
You see,
you know, so he complete my name,
right?
You know, and thanks to him, Don Writa is a name now that people is called probably like people don't look at it as a jokey name. You know, whenever you hear it in a song, you hear Don Writa, that kind of vibe, you know. So, mad respect.
So, with there being a number of other producers and some of them getting particular recommendations and being revered in other countries and stuff. I'm talking, of course, about CJ and them other producers. How has it been matching? How has it been working for you from the standpoint that, I guess, in a sense, CJ now has become the person that made the link between Trinidad and Barbados and that whole dancehall, the whole dancehall genre really, in a sense, like gave it a boost.
Yeah.
So, how has that been affecting you in terms of how you've been getting more work? Have more people been reaching out to you from outside of Barbados as well because of that?
I find a lot more Trinidadian artists. They're always looking to work with Barbadian producers, and you know, a lot of them got a lot of respect for CJ. Mad respect to CJ for the work that he put in and stuff. You know, he did a lot for Barbados and the dancehall scene. But I find as a result of his work, you know, even in terms of collaborations too, a lot more Trinidadian dancehall artists is be looking to collaborate with Barbadian artists. You know, so it's a good link that was built, and you know, I hope that we just continue to build upon it, and as it keeps to grow, you know, the industries for both of us could continue to grow as well.
Right. Alright. Well, I think that's mainly all the questions I already had for you. What you could do is, of course, just let people know where they could find you, where they could find your social media, where they could contact you if they need to get tracks built, dub plates, all them different things like that.
Yeah, well, if anybody want to reach me, just look for me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Well, basically any social media platform. Just look for I am Don Writa, and you can find me.
Alright, cool. And that has been Faded. We out.
It's faded, baby.
Perfect.